There we are.
Hello, we're back. Fire Frank, Charlie, right over here next to me.
Charlie here.
All right. Welcome back to Weekly Wrestling Verdict for this week. As of now, we're live on July 26th, Wednesday, July 26th. As you can see down below, we are here to do our SummerSlam preview. I know we got a week to go. Card is pretty much set. I'll be away on assignment next week. I'll be on vacation, and then by the time the weekend comes along, I'll be actually headed to Detroit to take in SummerSlam in person. So we're gonna run it down today. How you doing this week, Charlie?
Good. Been working, haven't seen any wrestling.
I know you've been a busy
I'm here
man.
to talk about SummerSlam.
You've been a busy man. He's out there working in this hot weather, but for sure, we won't go too much over everything this week. It's just more of the same. I know you. I think you haven't watched anything since we last spoke. So, did you see Blood and Guts though?
I saw Blood and Guts.
You saw that. So, what'd you think of that?
It was good.
Yeah, it was good. I thought it was. I mean, it
was good.
They're all kind of long these days. Like the Modern War games to me are a little too long, and then the AEW tends to do them like almost an hour long. With the commercial, just kind of hurt it. It was a fun match, but I kind of wish the War games or / Blood and Guts didn't have to be an hour. But it was pretty. It was fun. It was ridiculous. It was bloody. It had all the things you could think of. Unfortunately, the camera crew managed to miss the finish somehow. So when we saw Garcia getting choked out, we didn't see Mox actually giving up for him, which was the story they were trying to tell. After the show, BCC and Elite shook hands, so it looks like maybe we're getting a BCC face turn. Oh, we got some people in chat. Hey, Shane. Hey, Tina. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, so that was a pretty fun match. Collision this week was pretty. I didn't wind up going in Newark, but it was. They didn't really advertise anything. He wound up having a unannounced tag match with Punk and Darby against Christian and Ricky Starks. So that was an okay show. We're pretty much here to talk about SummerSlam. I know you didn't get a chance to catch up anything. We had a decent Raw. We had a more build. A lot of Judgment Day. They're drawing the ratings now, so why not? Dom's on fire. Apparently, he drew about 2 million viewers for his match against Sammy on Monday, so that's pretty cool. Last night, another appearance.
They're saying backstage they're looking at Judgment Day as the spiritual successors to Bloodline. So.
Yeah, so I think they're gonna be sticking around for quite some time, and good for them. Yeah. Considering how this started, we didn't know. Edwich was literally using this to try to get over these younger guys, and it's working actually, as it turns out. So, kudos to them. Dom's been working everything. Like I said, he main evented everything last week on TV. Then he went to Mexico and had a World Heavyweight title match. So what a week for Dirty Dom. Didn't have a match on NXT last night. Doria did have a pretty cool main event against Lyra. So it was cool to see her make an appearance. They're pretty much one of the ratings gold right now. Speaking of ratings gold, I know SmackDown was on FS1 as we talked about last week, mentioned a million times. Wound up doing much better than they did than any time they've been on FS1. So obviously Roman showing up, that highly promoted. Obviously they're not going to match the Fox numbers, but they did pretty well. So kudos to them there.
Apparently, Corey Graves didn't say it enough times that they're on FS1.
Hey, they did pretty good. In fact, they even had a replay following it that almost beat Rampage live head-to-head or live. So that's interesting. So, yeah, they had a pretty good show just setting up. Like I said, we were calling Tribal Combat. We'll get to that in a second. So, yeah, everything's just headed towards SummerSlam. As you can see here, throwback logo. We're in SummerSlam mode. Seems like just yesterday we were here talking about last year's.
Here we are again. Real.
What a quick year. I know that was like I said, a year ago we started right when the Vince retirement thing happened. And I started jumping on with you guys, and here we are a year later. So I guess let's get into it. Okay, I got a card spelled out for you. There's some we don't know about, but as of right now, we got 7 matches confirmed with one that's probably going to happen in Rhea versus Raquel. But since it's not on the card, I guess we won't really discuss it yet. Although we're probably both going to assume that Rhea's going to retain there, so it's not much to talk about there. So we'll start off with Logan Paul wants to be the opener, as we've discussed last week. So Logan Paul and Ricochet. They had another segment this week that was pretty fun. Ricochet actually got some mic time and did a decent job. He's gotten better. Another stare down. He attempted to take him down, and Ricochet wound up as Logan was like going live on his phone. I don't know what he was on, and Ricochet went up super kicking right when he had the phone in his hand as he was insulting the crowd. So he got the better of him. Yeah, pretty big match for Ricochet. Probably his biggest thing in the maybe ever. I mean, maybe since his initial call-up when he was feuding with AJ, this is probably the biggest,
it's his biggest pay-per-view match. That's for certain.
And then that's including his title match against Brock, which wasn't much of a match as we know, but this is much bigger. Well, Logan Paul hasn't disappointed yet. So, and knowing what these two guys have done already in the ring together, we're looking forward to this. It should be a hot opener if indeed is the opener. It should be either way.
It's so how do you see this tough act to follow?
Yeah, it probably will.
It's an incredibly tough act to follow.
Probably will. As Logan Paul gets his second SummerSlam match last year against Miz, it was a pretty fun match. This should be a pretty entertaining sprint here, exhibition, whatever you want to call it. So how do you see this one playing out? I know Logan's not getting many wins yet. So what do you think?
It's going to be a spot fest. I see Logan Paul coming out victorious.
Interesting. Okay. So you think he's going to come out on the winning end, even though he hasn't really, because he hasn't really yet. So you think this is where he gets that win outside of when him and Miz won the tag match, obviously at Mania. Yeah, you would think so. I mean, I don't know what he's doing afterwards, how much sooner he's going to be back. I know people will get upset if Ricochet loses because they're going to say, hey, he's losing, he's not around. But this is a pretty big, like I said, this is going to get a lot of attention, regardless if he wins or loses. It'll get a lot of mainstream press for sure. I'm sure we'll be seeing highlights on this on your local channel somewhere, some way. So, yes, for me, he probably does need a win. I can't say if Ricochet wins this, what's he going to go with it? Even if he loses, where's he going to go with it? I don't know what's next for him.
Yeah.
So my pick, if Logan's going to stick around, then he should get the win. If he doesn't, I don't know. Maybe we'll see him in Saudi in November for Crown Jewel again. I'm not sure. So you're picking Logan. Tough one. I think I'll go with him too. I mean, I could see the upset, but I'll go with Logan here too. That's who should win, so I'll just pick him. Okay, we'll move on. Another grudge match on the undercard here. We have Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler. As confusing as this feud has been, it seems more like Shayna's leading face here and Ronda's being heelish. So she basically challenged her to a quote unquote fight this week. So I don't know what that means. We talk about fight pit, or we talking about like some kind of other type of full MMA type match. I don't know yet. We might find out next week. Like I said, going to the show, but we won't be on. So, but we can't really discuss that. So, yeah, I know you're not been a big fan of Ronda. Most of this whole run has been pretty bad.
Yeah,
intercepted with some bad timing on injuries for her too, which kind of mess up this whole angle here with Shayna. They should have been champions longer, but with all these injuries, it kind of had to rush it. We think that Ronda's either being done or taking time off after SummerSlam, so we got to go with Shayna here, right?
I guess I haven't heard that she's taking time off, but
that was the rumor that they had to rush to this feud because she's not going to be around much longer. I don't know if that means like her contract's up or if she's got a mandated time off coming up, but
I really see Shayna Baszler winning this.
Okay, they got to do something. If she's going to be sticking around, they got to do something with her. So for her to get the win over, I can see Ronda wanting to do the favor for her since she always says she brought her into wrestling. So actually got her into it in the first place, and she was doing indies before Ronda even started training. Yeah, so we're gonna pick. I guess I'll agree with you that Shayna should win this. Not sure what kind of match it's going to be, but whatever it is, I think she's going to take the win. Young Brandon, thanks for joining us. We got some people in the chat. Thanks guys for joining in. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
So we're not sure where all these matches will go, but
I did hear a rumor that LA Knight is going to have a segment that could possibly lead to a match.
I'm sure he'll have some sort of involvement. As I said, we don't know if that U.S. title is going to be on the show, and I don't think it is, and I think that's why he did not win that tournament for that reason. I don't think they're burying everybody saying, "Oh my God, they're not letting him in." I said, "Listen, they're giving him promo time when he's not, when he doesn't even have a match. They know what they have. They have the announcers playing up the fact that he's getting over pretty big, so they know exactly what they got." And it seems, the scuttlebutt is that Vince is really high on him as well as obviously Triple H is. So the fact that he has won him over is supposedly one of his biggest detractors. That bodes well for Mr. Knight. Yeah,
And as Triple H said in the press conference, that Money in the Bank, sometimes the wait is worth it. So
we've been saying this for a while when things are going on. Because again, a random win, what is that going to do? But they're building momentum for sure. So I can't see him not having some sort of appearance on the show right now. I know we said that about Mania, but he's even hotter now than he was then. So good for him. After the rough Wyatt feud and not really going on, he's whatever you could call it. People say, what is it? Why is it? He's always been great on the mic. He's always had charisma. He's just finally getting the chance to show it on the biggest stage possible. So I'm sure he'll be just fine. Anyway, so we've got other. Well, I don't know how we want to go this. Well, I'll go to the title matches last one, I guess. So we'll go next to Brock and Cody, of course, the rubber match. No steps announced as of yet, but we assume there's going to be some. Maybe there won't be.
How has no stipulation been announced?
I don't know. I think, or they're just waiting for Raw to say something else. Because this week, another showdown. See, they've been building it up. Cody again. I know last week we're in front of his mom and all that. Cody's great in mic, as we know, and he tells a story. So regardless of what type they come up with, both matches they've had so far have been pretty strong. So we expect this to top that. Brock and SummerSlam has had some pretty interesting matches, obviously last year with Roman. So yeah, this should be pretty fun. Are we going to assume Cody takes the win here and wins this feud and moves on? I can't see it dragging out any further.
I've been hearing crazy rumors of even Bray Wyatt costing Cody the match.
Interesting. Yeah, there's been some hot rumors.
I'm gonna go with Cody.
You go with Cody. Yeah, I mean, I don't think if they're going with a which is weird to me, a Bray feud, but I think he's still on SmackDown. Whatever, it doesn't matter anymore. But the point is that if they're going with that, he doesn't necessarily need to cost anything. You could always just have him show up after the match, make an appearance, maybe tease something. I don't know. We haven't heard anything. It's been so weird. We've heard nothing about him. It's this mysterious illness. I hope he's okay. Regardless of what we said in the show about what we've enjoyed his programs or not, hopefully the man is all right. But I mean, would a Cody him? I mean, yes, because it'd be an actual person, an actual program with. So we know Cody can talk. At least he can probably get something out of this if they focus it. I don't know. Well, I guess we'll talk about that if he does, in fact, return. We don't want to speculate too much right now. I'm going to say Cody takes the win here. I don't know what's next for Brock, but he's always entertaining no matter what he does. He can win, he can lose. It's not going to matter to him. Yeah, we're just holding water here, like I said, with Cody for this time until we get him back on the path to where he's probably going to go. We're still assuming in Philly, so we got some time before that. You got to do something with him, and he's staying over. And he's still out. It's not like he's pulled down. Everybody was worried. He seems to be doing just fine. Got his big documentary coming out on Peacock, so good for him. Looking forward to that match. Okay, so we'll get to some of our title matches here. We did get it confirmed this week. The long reigning IC champ Gunther against Drew McIntyre for the IC title. Obviously, we saw with that triple threat at Mania. Arguably one of the matches of the year, maybe some people's match of the year, or maybe for WWE at least. So we got Drew back. Drew looks good. He's been out. He's rested. He's ready. Looks in great shape. He seems to be fired up. So this match should be really fun. Two big men slapping meat, as Big E likes to say. What do you think about this match?
It's definitely a monkey wrench to see if Gunther can hold the championship for the full record. Just a big threat for him, but I definitely see Gunther winning it. He's going to go on to be the longest reigning champion.
It'd be kind of weird if right now, if they got that close, they're not going to do it.
Yeah.
Although you can make it a case, not that McIntyre needs to win, but like him winning would be acceptable because this is a former WWE champion. So it's not like it'd be weird for him to beat Gunther. Gunther hasn't lost in a long time. Last person to beat Gunther, fun fact trivia for you out there, his last night in NXT, he was Braun Breaker, last man to beat Gunther, just for fun. Hey, Tina. Hey, Russell. Thanks for coming in, guys. Again, I appreciate it. Yeah, so that should be a pretty wild match. I'm going to agree. Gunther retains, but it should be a heck of a match. We'll see what happens from there. All right, we'll move on. Yeah, we're not sure about. Well, we think Rhea and Raquel are going to have a match. Like I said, we're not going to really talk about it. We think Rhea's going to win. We'll go on to the other with the I guess, the WWE Women's Championship. That would be the World Women's Championship. We've got Asuka, Charlotte, and Bianca Belair confirmed this week triple threat match. WWE Women's World Title or WWE Women's Championship. I'm sorry, I get confused. These titles are a little messed up. Obviously, we still have the tease with Io with the case. She's not booked on the show, so I'm sure that there's going to be at least an attempted or a tease at a cash in this match.
Probably a tease at a cash in. I don't see it happening.
It'd be cool if it did. I mean, it'd be a big spot to have one on. Otherwise, so assuming no cash in, who do you like in this match and why?
I'm gonna go with Asuka.
Asuka's gonna retain. Okay. Yeah, she did just win it recently. What at 20? Not Money to Bank, Night of Champions, right? Yeah. So she's only had it for 2 months.
Yeah.
So if not for a cash in, I don't see why you'd put the title right back on Belair or on Charlotte right now. But this should be an entertaining match, I would say. Charlotte had a decent match with Io on SmackDown the other night. There was one kind of messed up spot that everybody was focusing on, but it was a pretty decent match. Yeah, I'm going to assume Asuka retains here as well. Of course, you can never count out Charlotte. We always joke.
I know.
But it wouldn't make. But honestly, usually, at least when it did, it at least made somewhat sense. Here, it doesn't make any sense unless. I mean, I don't know what the long-term plans are. We can speculate where we think Rhea's going. There's some spots for her. Long-term for this title on SmackDown, I don't know where we're going.
I just don't think they give Asuka a new championship and all that for her to be a transitional champion.
Yeah, it's a little strange.
I know she's up there as far as age goes in women's wrestling, but I can see her holding on to the title for a little longer.
I mean, yeah, I don't know what they're doing with this case thing, like I said, but if you were to tell me you'd want to leave it on Asuka until Mania season, I'd have no problem with that. Now that she's actually a heel, let her go on a real run. Maybe the cash-in won't be like as we think, you know? It could be one of those things.
No, I actually hope Io Sky.
Yeah, Io Sky.
Io Sky holds on to the champion, holds on to the briefcase for a while. It makes us anticipate it.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously we are been anticipating her and Asuka to have a match for the title, but I don't know where that's going to be. Will she cash in? Will she wait till Mania? There's a couple of options out there. That could be a marquee match if you build up both, correctly. Bianca's been kind of lost since she lost the title, but she had such a long reign. I mean, right now it's okay to be putting her not in the back burner, but she's still in the mix, but she doesn't need to be winning this back. Unfortunately, that's what happens sometimes. You lose a title and you just kind of lose your place of what's going on, but she stayed in the mix. And like I said, Charlotte's been back in and out so much recently. It's it seems like the last couple of years she's not around full time. We don't really talk about it, but understandably so. I mean, she was working hard for many years in here and being on around quite a bit, working a lot of these big pay-per-views. So regardless of what you think of her having too many title reigns, whatever, she's been one of the top workers in the business. So this should be a fun match, regardless. Will we get a tease? Probably. Wouldn't mind a cash-in, even though it doesn't really make sense. But hey, we want to have something big happen at SummerSlam. That could be it. Speaking of cash-ins, we have our men's World Heavyweight title match. Seth Rollins rematch with Finn Balor, rematch from last month, Money in the Bank, rematch from 7 years ago at SummerSlam in Brooklyn. So
6 years ago or 7 years ago?
7 years, 2016 already.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, right? I remember I was there, right there on the floor seats. That was in the lower section when they debuted the red Universal title that everybody probably crapped on right there. Poor guys. As Balor injured his arm and his shoulder, and it was wrestling for 20 minutes with a bad arm. As the crowd continued to worry about what the belt looked like, that was kind of embarrassing. I'll be honest. So they had a bit of a match last month at Money in the Bank that didn't really hit that next gear. Maybe here we'll get a longer, more proper match. The whole build here, yeah, we hope so. I mean, the whole build here is based on their history. That's Finn history, which is fine. We have Priest lurking with the briefcase, teasing that if he doesn't get the job done, he'll get around. Or would he cash on it if Finn possibly win? There's a couple of those things being teased. They supposedly are back on the same page. It's a tough one right here. You can go either way on this one. You could have Finn or Judgment Day help Finn win the title and then he cashes in on him. You could just have him help him win the title. Seth's only been champ a couple of months. I don't know where they go next. That's the thing I'm trying to figure out. So
there was a rumor of JD McDonough taking Finn's place, but then he
kind of dropped that. Yeah, they've kind of dropped that connection between the two of them. And
yeah,
he's been relegated to main event when he's around. So he's kind of disappeared again, unfortunately. I don't know what's going on there. Yeah. So what are you thinking as far as your prediction here in this match?
I just hope the two of them put on a better match than Money in the Bank, because their chemistry, it didn't show it to full potential at Money in the Bank. So
yeah,
I
have a feeling they were holding a little bit back, knowing what everything that was going on that night. I can see why knowing that they're probably going right back to this in a month. I can see why they did that. But yeah,
who do I see winning this? I don't see a Judgment Day split, so I'm going to go with Seth Rollins retaining.
Okay, Seth Rollins retaining. Now, do you see a cash in there or attempt after Rollins wins? Attempt. Is he going to successfully attempt? I mean, is he going to actually ring the bell, or is he just going to attempt and he's going to get away? Okay. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I have the feeling that somebody's going to cash in on the show, like because people aren't expecting, like they're wanting it so much. No, they're not going to do it. I don't know. I think they want to have a big splash here. So what will it be? You know, of the two, I can see the two cases. I can see obviously Priest cashing in when somebody's hurt. You know, maybe when if he is leading more face, there's teasing with her and Bailey right now. So maybe we can see. You know, I'm going to say Seth retains, and then you know what? I'll just say I'm going to say he does cash in.
Why not? Okay.
And I'm going to say he takes the title. I'm going to get behind. Local boy here from the Bronx himself, Mr. Damian Priest. I'm gonna think he's gonna be champion coming out of the show. Why not?
Wow.
You don't have because then you don't have. I mean, you could tease that Finn's upset, but he's not really. You don't have to have the breakup yet. As long as he doesn't cost him the match, I don't think he'll be too angry. So you can get away with that.
Okay.
I think Dom. Everybody will be involved. Obviously, Dom isn't booked for a match, and Priest isn't, so they'll be lurking for this match for sure. Dom, in fact, side note, Dom did just get booked last night on NXT, and he's having a triple threat as we kind of speculated last week against Ali and Wesley at Great American Bash this Sunday. Which if you wanted to, we could do a bonus. You can go over that card in a second if you wanted to. Anyway, that'll take us, like I said, to our probable main event of the show: Tribal Combat. Play the Mortal Kombat theme, but we've got Tribal Combat here for the undisputed Universal World Heavyweight title, whatever you want to call it. Roman Reigns, Jey Uso. It's presumably some sort of no DQ match. Tribal Combat, which they're kind of teasing that is not just for the championship, but for the title of Tribal Chief. So that should be interesting. So we have our long anticipated rematch with Jey and Roman. They haven't had a match since Hell in a Cell almost 3 years ago. So
damn, that's been 3 years.
2020. Wow. That's where we're coming up at the end of August. It'll be 3 years since Roman returned at SummerSlam.
Wow.
And then won the title a week later when they had that random week later pay-per-view. But yeah, he showed up attacking Bray Wyatt and Braun at the end of that SummerSlam, starting his new persona. So yeah, 3 years. This has been a long time build. They took out Jimmy, obviously, storyline purposes. I could see him making a return here for a big pop. Maybe Samuel get involved. Maybe you'll see some other people get involved. I'm sure everybody's going to get involved. Who knows? Maybe there'll be some other family members showing up. We don't know. But, yeah, I mean, Jey did get to pin Roman, the first person to pin him in almost 4 years at the last pay-per-view at Money in the Bank. So here, Jey gets his shot. I'm going to assume, I know you're going to say who's going to win here, so I don't even know where we're going to go with the formalities. How do you see it happening? Go ahead, Charlie. Let us know. I know you're going to say Roman retains, but how's it going to happen?
Yeah. Shenanigans, obviously.
Shenanigans of some kind. Just with the bloodline go. Do we tease more of a ref with Solo and Roman? Do we think Jimmy's going to show up? Probably.
Oh, yeah. Jimmy's
will be there. Maybe Samuel get involved just because he has nothing to do. I can see that. pull out all the stops. It should be a roller coaster of a main event here. Yeah, shenanigans. I don't know where we go from here, but there's several things you can go from here. With if Jimmy comes back, you can go to the Jimmy Roman match next. Maybe not next month. Maybe at Crown Jewel. Maybe I don't think at Battleground. Probably not. I'm sorry, not Battleground. Fastlane is the September pay-per-view. Yeah, maybe he'll hold off until Crown Jewel or Survivor Series. Not sure yet what's going on there. Not sure what the format of Survivor Series is this year. We're not sure, so we just know it's going to be in Chicago. Yeah, so we both go on Roman retaining, some kind of shenanigans, some kind of big return, some kind of big angle to end the show. What would that be? That's a good question. We're not going to predict The Rock's showing up before anybody asks. We're done predicting that. You think there's any chance Jay can win this match? Yeah, why not? Go ahead. No. I knew that answer was coming. In fact, now you know, if he does, I think we'd probably be, even though it'd be cool in the moment, we'd then say, oh, man, why did you do that? Like, there's been so many times over the last couple months where if Roman had lost, it'd be like, and then be like, what? How could you do that?
Yeah.
No, JML had us convinced going into Mania, too, that would be a bad idea. Even though everybody was yelling, oh, my God. He had us convinced that was a good idea for Cody to lose, and so far it's worked out. I don't know. We got to see some kind of crazy finish here leading into something going off the air, because it can't be just a typical, Roman raising his hand. There's got to be something happening.
And I also don't think it's going to be at the end of it. I think Jay's going to get another title match after this.
Yeah, we've still got some legs left in this. We didn't even get it, before we even get into Survivor Series / Rumble season. There's so much stuff you can do. Eventually Solo will leave Roman. I would wait a little bit for that. Maybe if they do bring back War Games, or if they do a Survivor Series style match, you could do, Team Roman against Team Usos. I don't know who that'd be. Probably Sami and Kevin or something. But there's a lot of things you can go from here. So that should be it, and that's pretty much our card. Like I said, pending the Rhea title defense, maybe the U.S. title, Rey Santos versus Austin Theory. I don't think it's going to wind up on the show. Probably hopefully some sort of LA Knight at least appearance, so that IWC doesn't have a meltdown, since he's like apparently the latest flavor of the month. Even though we've been extolling his virtues for the past year on the show, so we know who the true fans are. That's all I'm going to say. I've been calling his name since his run on the top in Impact. So, and if you look back, even his work in the Indies before that, he's always been really good. So, as far as being charismatic on the mic, he's not too bad in the ring. He's not your top 5-star match guy, but he's a decent in ring wrestler. That's all. And honestly, that's all it's all about here. Sports entertainment, pro wrestling. It's all about telling stories. We know. So that's our SummerSlam. Like I said, this week and this Sunday, we got a Great American Bash coming up. I don't know if you want to go over that. We can go over at least the main match. We got Carmella Hayes defending against Ilya Dragunov. What do you think about that match?
That's gonna be balls to the wall.
Right? Yeah, we know Dragunov is a nut. Last night he was a 6-man with Carmelo and Trick against the Schism, and they kind of had a little miscommunication there. He accidentally hit Trick, and Trick was very upset, got in his face. At the end of the night, he wound up headbutting Carmelo. So there's a little bit of bad blood there. Do you think he can lose? Do you think we get a new champion here?
It would be awesome, because I'm a huge Dragunov fan, but I don't see Carmelo Hayes losing.
Yeah, unless they're planning on bringing him up. I don't know. Like I said, we keep calling for Braun to come up. He showed up. He did show up last night to attack Von Wagner of all people. So maybe he gets one more match in before leaving. But we do have a pretty stacked card already for Sunday. So that's our big match. Like I said, Dominic defending the North American title against Wesley and Mustafa Ali. Do you think Dom retains, or we get a new champion? I mean, we all thought it was going to be a short-term reign, but what do you think?
Yeah, the question is Dom going to keep up the NXT schedule?
He's already had one defense on SmackDown, actually, this past week. He defended the title on SmackDown, so not on NXT yet. So his first NXT title defense would be Sunday.
Huh.
mean, I don't know how long. I mean, I know they're using them. They're a big ratings draw. I don't know how many weeks they want to keep them on there. They're tending to.
I'll go with Dom.
You're gonna go with Dom retaining just for the sake of it, just
and
then maybe because everybody's thinking, oh, this is a way for him to lose without taking the pin. But you know what? He takes pins every week and he's just fine. So, you go with Dom, all right, and then maybe setting up a one-on-one later on.
Yep,
I could see them doing that and setting up a big rematch on NXT TV, maybe. Yeah, why not? We'll go with Dom. Why not? If not, Wesley already had the title. Maybe you put it on Ali. I don't know. I think we're still going to get that match, so I could see one of them taking it. But I'm going to, why not? We'll say Dom. We've got Tony D and Stacks taking on Gallus for the tag titles. I think this is the time to put the titles on Tony D and Stacks. They've got really over as baby faces. Gallus has not really done anything as tag champions. They're very strange. They haven't really fit in well on NXT proper. On the NXT UK, they're a pretty good heel team. Yeah, I know a lot of people don't. They're not exactly hitting, so you would hope this is the spot. Because if it's not them, who? The Creeds did lose that. That's another thing. The Creeds were supposedly gone from NXT. Pretty sure they showed up last night as we had two of the masked henchmen in the Schism actually attack the Schism. We've been speculating for weeks that it's probably them in masks, and I'm pretty sure it was because one of them did have the Creed's hair, and they're pretty big. So I think that feud's going to continue at some point. We have women's title Tiffany Stratton against Thea Hale in a submission match of all things. As Thea's been the submission master since her training with Gulak and Dempsey. So they had a pretty fun video package this week hyping this match up. Duke being hilarious as usual. I was there since the beginning, you know. I assume Tiffany takes the win. She just won the title. Like I said, this should be a fun match, but Thea is only 19 years old, so she's got plenty of time. We've got our other women's match. We've got Roxanne Perez against Blair Davenport in a grudge match. They had a little scuffle last night at NXT. They got into a fight while Blair was live on Instagram at some local bodega or something in Florida. They got into a fight. Roxanne got the better of her and walked off. So, yeah, that should be a fun little match. We've got which is now being called a Weapons Wild match. So basically, no DQ weapons match.
Okay.
There. Blair just debuted, so you think maybe she would win here, but Roxanne's been. I don't know what they're doing with her right now, so you could see her take the win. I'll say Blair takes the win since she's got the weapons. That should be a fun brawl. And I think if I'm missing any matches, we have a couple. We actually do have a kickoff match scheduled as well. We have Metaphor, which is Noam Dar's group, against Dragon Lee, Nathan Frazier, actually, and a couple other people whose names are escaping me right now. But that's a kickoff match, and I think we went over everything there. I don't think there's any other matches announced. There's 6 matches announced so far. Should be a fun show live from Texas this Sunday, not Saturday, this Sunday, for everybody out there.
Sunday pay-per-view. What's that like?
Yeah, what's that all about, right? Yeah, so a live Sunday night pay-per-view from Texas. Let me see if I missed anything. Yeah, we have Dragon Lee, Nathan Frazier, Ulisa Leon. Sorry, I don't want to make her name wrong. Valentina Feroz against the Metaphor, which is Noam Dar, Ora Mensa, Jakar Jackson, Lash Legend, 8-person mixed tag matches on the kickoff. We did the Dom Mask, Tiffany against Thea, Roxanne against Blair. Oh, I forgot our big announcement last night. Of course, Gable Steveson announced he's staying in NXT, and he was interrupted by guess who else? But Baron Corbin. So we're gonna get Gable's first match.
Well, Gable's definitely gonna win it.
Yeah. We got here. I think Rox fans will win some of the injured people, but it's. I'll come back and help. Oh, make her lose. Oh, that's a good point. She did make a lot of enemies. We still don't. She's not. She did say she's not NXT Anonymous, so we still don't know who that is. Booker T. Well, let's just say Booker T is going to have a wild night. It was pretty funny for them to have a grocery store brawl with Booker T there. Although he wasn't doing commentary because it was supposed to be from the night before. And the way they shot it, Blair's footage, and they showed footage from other people supposedly in the store, which is you do see in real life. So I thought that was a nice touch. to have that. It wasn't your typical, why is there a camera here? There was a reason for it, which is different because WWE doesn't usually go through those lines like AEW does to explain why cameras are there, even against logic. But yeah, that was a pretty fun brawl. Booker, of course, afterwards was a little upset. He was having another great night on commentary. Reggie / Script showing up ringside this week with Bronco and Lucian. So yeah, it looks like they are becoming a group. Reggie's from the streets, as Booker's let Vic know. Actually, looking as my buddies at Up Next found out last night, he does in fact there's some legitimacy to that. Reggie, believe it or not, has an interesting past. But I'll let you guys look up his Wikipedia page. So that was a pretty fun angle. I'm looking for it. I'm looking up. What's that? Now you're intriguing. I would everybody look up Reggie / Scripts online. That's all I'd say. Look up his Wikipedia page. I don't want to know because I don't how Wikipedia is. I don't want to know if it's correct, and I don't want to cast aspersions upon people. I know people don't like him, but I like him. He's a pretty funny guy. I don't know him as his heel role doesn't really feel right, but they've tried everything else. Axiom showed up last night out of nowhere, flying in to kick him while wearing his turtleneck, of course. I think, as they discussed last night, we might have a new trio. We've got Axiom, we've got Ilya Dragunov, and Christian, the kings of the turtleneck right now on the Pro Wrestling TV. They're bringing it back. And, of course, Ilya, also shout out Ilya with his little pirate goatee he's got going on right now out of nowhere, which makes me think he's leaning more heelish. But, yeah, I'm also a big fan of his. Can't wait till he gets the inevitable rematch with Gunther on the main roster, since they've had 2 legit matches a year in the past couple of years. So that should be fun. Maybe that's who eventually defeats him. Who knows? Yes, that'll be a fun show on Sunday night. Like I said, Sunday I'll be like Corey Graves. Sunday. I won't be like Corey Graves on Raw when he did a impression of Ludwig Kaiser for half his commentary, which is pretty funny. I do recommend checking it out. That was pretty funny. He decided to do commentary as him as he was in the ring fighting against Drew. So what's everybody else think? Anybody's agreeing with us? Maybe not. That's all right, guys. Thanks for joining us. We do appreciate you guys showing up every week.
Thank you.
Giving us some feedback. You can check out the channel. J-Mail's got his breaks. I know tomorrow night he usually has one of his breaks, so check that out this weekend. I'm sure he's got something going down. Hopefully soon we'll get together again. We promise we will be back with all 3 of us.
You probably.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be back after SummerSlam to do something. And then maybe we'll finally do some other look backs, which we've been meaning to get to. Let us know if there's any shows you want us to look back of. Obviously, we won't be able to do a retro SummerSlam this year, but we got what's coming up in September. Fastlane, I think. I don't know if there's any fast lanes you guys want us to talk about. I know there was the one with Roman and Bryan. That was a pretty good main event. I remember that one. That was a good one.
Are there any fast lanes worth our time?
I just remember that. That's the match I think about when I think of Fastlane. I remember Roman and Daniel Bryan had a great main event in 2015, I think.
Seemingly so. Billy Gunn did retire.
Good question. I don't know. Either that or they're trying to set up some angle. It was very random, but then again, sometimes if it's legit, maybe that's how you want to do it without any hype. It was really weird. I was wondering what House of Black said to him to make him suddenly take his boots off and want to retire. I don't know. As John Cena didn't mention, maybe they said, "Hey, WWE wants to hire you back. Maybe they want to have to come into the Hall of Fame or something." Maybe Bart Gunn's gonna and Billy are gonna be inducted as the most smoking guns. Who knows? maybe they want to hire him in a producer job. I don't know. I think they're setting up some sort of angle with the Acclaim, but he doesn't really have to wrestle to be involved with them, right? So we'll see. We'll see what the follow up is this week on that. I know his wife was posting pictures of him at home with his dog, so they're definitely selling it. If it isn't real, they are selling it like it is. Of course, we've always in wrestling, you never say never, and then ever since Mark Henry scarred us for life 10 years ago this month, I think we never know.
Him in his peach suit
with the big jacket, the big salmon jacket. Anyone who wants to look at him a good segment, look up the Mark Henry fake retirement. Since he didn't get it like a real one, I think that turned out to be his actual one. Although he had a pretty nice Hall of Fame speech. He's still working for AEW. Not sure exactly what he's doing, but he's around. Hopefully he gets a more prominent role sooner or later. Anyways, anything else anybody wants to mention in the chat besides Billy Gunn? Who would have guessed Billy Gunn's still relevant here, 2023? What a good 24 years after he won King of the Ring and had his big quote unquote singles push.
Wow.
Yeah. 59 years old, in better shape than I'll ever be. So good for you, Billy.
Yeah.
Good for you, man. You've outlasted us all. Him and Sting will just be around forever, it seems like. Anyway, guys, I guess if there's nothing else, enjoy the Bash if you watch it this week. Enjoy AEW tonight if you watch Collision on Saturday, whatever you want to watch. We got a lot of stuff coming up. Like I said, the Bash this weekend, SummerSlam next week. We've got back-to-back pay-per-views for AEW at All In and All Out coming up. So it'll be a busy month, and I know they're going to be back in New York for Grand Slam again in September. So we'll see if I might check it out again. I've been there the last 2 years. So I guess that's it for now. Unless you have something else, Charlie.
No, I'm good.
Cool. Again, guys, thanks for joining. Thanks for your support. Keep liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, troll us, whatever you want to do. We appreciate it. On behalf of JML, thanks again for always supporting the channel, regardless of the show that's on. So we'll see you guys hopefully post SummerSlam. So 2 weeks from now, hopefully we'll have a chance to get back and chat again, and we'll discuss about how right we were or how wrong we were.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good to me for sure. So anyway, thanks, you guys. Have a good night. Enjoy your summer as we're heading towards August. Have a good night, guys.
Peace.